All right, guys, Steve and Eric here from Top Guns out of Terre Haute, Indiana, and I think it's really important that we understand the purpose of a tack light, non-weapons mounted.
Right, handheld.
And when and where and what it's used for, and how bright it should be. So, you know, sometimes the nice thing about a light is you can choose how bright of a light you want. Sometimes when you have a working partner, you can't choose how bright they are, and so you just have to work with what you have.
Thanks, boss.
All right. So, all right, let's talk about this. When we look at some of the reasons to have a light. Now, I will tell you, I carry a light with me every day. It's always on me. It's easily accessible, and I use it nonstop.
Right.
Not for tactical situations, not for threats or anything like that, but I am nonstop pulling my light out to use it.
Right.
But now let's look at the application for, hey, what if I actually needed it in a scenario where there is a potential threat? How bright do I want? What type do I want? What does the composition need to be made of? And we're not going to get into brands because this isn't an endorsement.
No, it's not. Right.
But let's start off with brightness.
Okay.
How bright do you want a light that you're carrying on you?
Steve, I think a good rule of thumb is somewhere between 500 and 1,000 lumens for a handheld light. Anything over that is a ton of light, and that can be counterproductive as well.
Okay. So when we're looking for a light, and we mentioned this in another video, when you get too bright and you're in a house, especially at night, you can get that backwash,
sure.
and so that can be blinding to yourself.
Yep.
So we don't want to do that. When we're using a tack light, we don't always want to shine it directly at what we're looking at. We want to shine it just to the side. So if we think the threat is here, we might shine it here so that we're not looking directly at the light until a threat has been identified, and then we may want to use that to blind the threat.
Right.
All right. So now let's take a look at, are you looking for a metal housing? Are you looking for a plastic housing?
Yeah, I'm absolutely looking for a metal housing because in addition to providing light, this also makes a pretty good impact weapon.
Okay. So I know there's, for those of those folks that have looked into using a Kubotan, and you can look that up online, this can act and be used in a similar fashion to a Kubotan.
Absolutely.
All right. So next thing.
And this gets bright. Kubotan doesn't.
Right. There, in fact, I just recently went over this with a group that we were talking about the fact that, hey, instead of carrying a Kubotan, you can carry this and you have something that
you get double duty.
Right. All right. We talked about brightness. We talked about we probably want a metal housing. Let's talk about in an actual situation why a light might be beneficial. What is it doing for us? So if you're the assailant and I'm coming up, what advantages is this giving me over potentially you?
First of all, you're identifying the threat.
Sure.
Is this individual a legitimate threat to me, or is this a family member coming home late?
Right.
Could be any of the above.
All right, and if it is a threat, naturally we're buying ourselves a few nanoseconds by shining that in their eyes, and it gives us time to, whether it's draw a firearm if we haven't already gotten our firearm out, whether it's stepping to the side and finding cover, running, or going hands-on, because maybe not every scenario calls for a firearm, and this may be a situation that requires more of an empty hand.
And you have to understand that these modern small lights, they give out a ton of candle power, lumens. So that in itself is very disorienting. You shine that in a person's face, and it's going to disorient them greatly.
I have literally watched multiple times of a situation that was escalating become de-escalated because of a light.
The light, yeah.
Light in your eyes, it's taxing.
It is.
No one wants to fight what they can't see.
And a lot of people assume that it may work to your benefit, it may not. But if you shine a light on somebody, they may assume that that's a weapon-mounted light.
Sure.
What you get with this is the availability to light up your target and not have a weapon trained on that individual, which you may not want to train a weapon on that person because it's not been identified as a threat at this point.
Right. All right, so there's a lot of things we didn't cover. We're not covering how to hold it if you're holding a firearm, things of that nature. That's a whole nother video. And a whole lot of discussion, and I'm sure we could argue about that for days.
Yep.
But if you have some ideas that we kind of missed out on, post them down below, help out everyone out that's watching the video, and quite frankly, help us out so we can make our videos better next time. Don't forget to hit your like, subscribe. What else is there?
Share.
Like, share, that's it.
That's
All right, guys, we'll talk to you all soon. Take care.